Okay, so one more thing before I start going through each house is to talk about the angular houses. And these are the cardinal houses. And I'm going to do a whole separate video on cardinal, mutable, and fixed signs, but also the houses, because they carry that same energy. So when we're looking at the 12 zodiac signs, they correspond with the 12 houses. So the first house is Aries house. The first sign of the zodiac is Aries. The last house, the 12th house, is Pisces house. The last sign is Pisces. So they correspond. It is literally like a big clock that we're looking at, right? And so when we're thinking about the angular houses, they are the cusp of your first house, which is your rising. That is the first house, the start of the first house. The fourth house, the IC is typically on the cusp, it is on the cusp of the third to fourth house. So we're looking at the fourth house as a cardinal house. And then the seventh house, the cusp of your seventh house, and the descent is there. And that is the seventh house. And then the 10th house, and that is the cusp of the 9th to 10th house, and your midheaven is typically located there. So those are the angular houses. They are the initiators of the zodiac. And so when we're thinking about looking at the chart as astrologers, we really want to emphasize and notice if there's certain planets or aspects to those houses, because those are what you're going to build from. And if you don't have, like, some people have a lot more in those houses and some people have a lot less. And it doesn't necessarily, it's not good or bad. It just means that people that have a lot of things in those houses are definitely meant to build and to start and initiate things in this lifetime. And so I'll be talking more about the cardinal signs so you'll get a better picture of what that looks like. But I wanted to bring that up because those are points that we're going to talk about further, is the four directions. And I think of it as the four directions in a sacred way. The rising is the east, the descent is the west. The most southern point, which looks different, I mean, like the most southern point is the top of the chart, where you think of the midheaven is, and you think of the sun shining as bright. It's like a noonday sun. And then the lowest point in the chart is the IC. So those are the four directions. And so when we're thinking about first, fourth, seventh, and 10th, they all hit upon those things. So I just wanted to mention that before I start with the first house. And so those are the angular houses, and those give more emphasis to looking at in the chart, because that's what you build from. Okay, thank you.